Shijiu Lake, and is also called the mirror of the sky. And today, actually, we have a really lovely creatures coming here. It's our lovely swans, because the Shijiu Lake actually is a very suitable place for the swans to winter. And with us, we have a expert, Mr. Dou. So hello to all our viewers. So Mr. Dou is very familiar with the Shijiu Lake, and actually you work in this very beautiful chill places. It must be work in a very happy mode, right? So our working experience actually quite different from others. So we are really have a happy mode, especially when we have these wild animals actually coming to us, and we feel very proud of ourselves. How long have you been working here? By the end of from 2013 till now, around 7 years already. So actually, I always have my career to pay my contribution to the wildlife protection. So I'm so familiar with the swans. So talk about the Shijiu Lake. Would you please talk more about the Shijiu Lake first? So actually, the Shijiu Lake is situated at the lower reaches of the Yangtze River, and it's the area of the watershed is around 18,600 square meters, and we have Anhui, Dangtu, and Gaochun of the Gaochun and Lishui district of Nanjing. Actually, this lake, actually, the western half is located in the Dangtu county of Anhui province, and the other part actually lies in the other city, the other province, which is Jiangsu Province. So that's including two provinces, the Gaochun and Lishui district of Nanjing. So today we're coming here, and because the swans bring the additional charm to the Shijiu Lake. So we would like to know where the birds coming from, or the swans. So you are looking at these actually are the tundra swans. And they fly from the very north, from the Siberia to the southern part. So they stop here for 1 month when it's getting cold, and they will migrate to Poyang or Dongting Lake, even southern part in China. So when the temperature coming back, and they will move back to the north period. So basically, let's say around January next year, it will stop by another 1 month here, and then they will head back to the north place for breeding. So we talk about swan, actually the second important level of the protection of wild animals. And you look at their shape, if you look at it's really white, but look at the beak, actually in black and with some yellow dots. And actually they eat, the majority of their food is the seed or the aquatic plants. So because like we know why the migrant birds coming here, because like the natural resources, especially the aquatic plants, quite abundant. That is why this is a quite ideal place for them to stop over. And right now you look at actually they put their head under the water, which means right now they are actually eating the water plants. So it's very easy for them to reach the plants under the water. So it's a very easy move for them. So it's basically they're eating the food. So the majority, actually the major food, is the aquatic plants. So they fly from the Siberia, and it's a long journey for them actually. So what's the height of the air flight? Actually above the 9,000 to even 10,000 meters above the earth. So actually it's basically the highest height among all the known birds. Of course, you can tell they must have a really strong wind to help them fly that high. So you look at it, this is a flock of swans. So basically, they fly from the very north to the southern part of China, the Danyang Lake, maybe their final destination. So we talk about right now at this time period, it's around November, mid-November. So we just actually welcome the very first batch of swans stop over here. So the peak number should be over 1,000. Right now we just received around 300. So the number for last year, that was around 7,000 to 8,000. So we talk about actually for the very group of swan, they come in here, that's around 300 and 400 swans. We can tell they maybe not really good to adapt themselves to the really cold weather. So that is why they were the very first group flying to the south part for a warmer temperature. So for the calculation, we always count the peak number. So according to the officials, we had a record from 2012. So at the very beginning, just around 1,000 to 2,000 swans. Last year reached a new record high, which was 7,000 to 8,000. Of course, we have seen that trajectory, which means the curve actually keeping going up. So why is Shijiu Lake is that suitable for the swans to stop over? So for our viewers, if you look at our videos or the live pictures, you can tell actually at the eastern branch of Lishui Lake. So it's not the really deep water. So it's considered as the white land. So for the swans, actually, it's very easy for them to eat or find food. So we talk about aquatic lakes. So it's very easy for them to really eat and store food. And also you look at the very vast area, so which means actually really the large number of swans actually are capable and accommodated to stop here. So which means they have really enough room for them to move around, to find food. And also the environmental standards should be really high because we can provide them enough food and also different kinds of food. So that is the reasons why we can make here as a stopover for swans. So look at swans either they taking a rest or finding food, but you can tell it's really a healing moment, not only for swans but also for our viewers. So talk about the size of our swans. So look at the majority of swans here is around actually the tundra swans. So for their full winged width is around 120 to 130 centimeters, and the larger ones actually is around 160 centimeters.
展开翅膀起飞的这个状态。对，其实我们来的时候哈，我们看到了一个场景非常非常壮观，大概有几百只天鹅。
So I can tell actually if we can provide our viewers the swans actually they unfold their wings. Actually, their wings are really white colors, very beautiful and really attractive.
或者是说，如果我不是我们亲临现场，真的是无法来感受这样一种壮观。无法用其他的言语来形容我们这个壮观的场景。
So if it not really visit yourself here, actually you cannot really tell that really the amazing scene.
我们看到哈，其实附近也来了很多
So the sunset clocks float with the long white ducks.
那现在来到这儿观看天鹅的都是来自哪里的游客？
So we talk about the tourists actually around us, the swan watchers or the professional photographers. And right now, Shijiu Lake also is gaining its population, so we also attract a lot of people. Actually, it's also a good places for the people living in the surrounding areas for a very easy and quick runaway places. With that said, of course, we've seen more people gathering here. That maybe also bring an additional challenge to your job, right? So protect swans always our main tasks. And we talk about the ecological environment, really good for swans to stay here. But we also actually have made a lot of efforts to make this place environmental friendly and also with sufficient natural resources. And also we talk about the surrounding 3 villages. And also actually take out the purse net. And for the fishers, and we help them to transfer from the fishing industry to other industries. So by doing so, we protect the biodiversity of the Shijiu Lake. And for the frequent seen aquatic animals, and we also do the multiplications, and we talk about actually we help to the grow. Like basically, we talk about the fish seedings. We help to do the additional seedings into the water, so that is we also to provide more food for swan to consume.
石臼湖它首先是自然生态环境适合天鹅的栖息，同时我们当地的政府呢，当地的居民也是提供了这样一个很好的环境。那我们想知道。
So the local government and also the local residents actually made a great contribution to this beautiful scene and the Lishui Lake, Shijiu Lake. So which actually is the best viewing area if we would like to watch the swans? So talk about swans for rehabilitate the habitation. They need to find some places that with enough food and also beautiful scene. And also quite quiet place. So we talk about the whole Shijiu Lake. Actually, we have around 4 spots that are good to watch swans. One is the places we are right now. Another place is around 5 to 6 kilometers away north as the Jiangsu. And the third, it's actually a good surprise for us to find this year because this is the very first year for us to find the presence of swans. That's around 40 to 50 swans actually stop over there. So this is the very new place we found this year. 观测天鹅或者说是这个欣赏天鹅的话呢，那最佳时间呢，第一个时间段呢是早上的8点到9点，因为那个时间呢正好是太阳日出的时候。So the best viewing scene or the time is around 8 to 9 a.m. morning. So which is the sunrise time. So it's also the waking time for swans. So it will be very easy to see swans flying up to the sky. So they normally fly up to the sky in the morning. So in the morning, basically, they play with each other, finding food and flying, do some flying exercise. And another pastime is around 3 to 4 p.m. local time. So which is also around the sunset time. So basically, these are the best watching period in terms of time.
大家都会觉得天鹅是一种高贵的象征，它有一个很好听的名字叫忠贞之鸟。我们跟其实窦站长可以来探讨一下，它为什么会被称为忠贞之鸟。
So we talk about the swan. Actually, we talk about this very noble, elegant.
这个主要是像天鹅，它是在鸟类中应该相对稀少的一种叫终身伴侣。
But actually, swan is also called a loyal bird.
只要是两只天鹅结合在一起了，它们就是终身不分离。
So we talk about actually the two swan. They come together, they will be their lifelong partners. So that is why we talk about that they are really loyal bird. So we talk about just in case if one swan died, then the other one actually will not find a new one throughout the whole life.
意外不在了，走散了，可能会是。第二种情况就是他们可能生到自己的小宝宝，这个是在南迁的时候呢，他们带着自己的其他幼鸟一起迁飞，这个可能会出现一个激素值的情况。平时你们看到的都是成双成对。
So we talk about if our viewers, if you see a group of swans, but in a odd number, have two scenarios. One scenario is maybe that for one pair they lost one swan, and the another scenario is that maybe the whole group plus their small baby. So that is also showed in an odd number. So right now you look at actually they are in their most relaxed pose. So we talk about for the wild animals, actually they are quite sensitive. They always keep high alert to the changes in their environment. So that is why the viewers, we also talk about that they should keep enough distance from the swans.
视频中应该能看到，除了天鹅之外，应该还有其他的一些鸟类，对吧？是的。您是不是没看到？
我刚才看到好像有黑颜色的是黑天鹅吗？
应该不是的，为什么呢？因为黑天鹅呢是在我们国家是没有这个原种。
So we talk about here is not only swans. We also have other kinds of birds.
黑天鹅应该不会是在我们这个栖息地里面生。原来生长地是在这个澳大利亚。
We talk about black swans. If you see the swans in black colors, actually that's not black swans, because black swans in China right now is either imported from Australia or the artificial breeding. So you look at it because these group of swans, actually they are the wild animals. So that's not a black swan.
它这个双翅如果展开的话。 大概有多大的尺寸？
刚才也描述过了，大概大天鹅。
So we talk about if we compare the size.
基本上跟一个人差不多。
其实它的双翅如果展开的话，它的这个长度大概有。
So we talk about the swan actually is quite large in size, especially compared to the other birds like the crane. So from our maybe the live pictures, you cannot really tell how big they are, but if we compare to the cranes, we can tell actually the swans really larger in size. So we talk about their full wing length around the 120 to 130 centimeters.
水鸟一类大概是60-70种，主要是呢就是天鹅一类的雁鸭，比如说像雁、斗雁。
So we talk about actually among that the category of dogs is around the 60 to 70s. They belong to the same families of swans. Or we talk about that's the family of Anhui.
这一类可能是这些专有名词啊，我们这个网友很难听得懂。那实际上呢，它们的数量相当的大，也是冬天在我们这个19湖这边跃动的一个鸟类。当然除了这些水禽之外呢，可能还
So we talk about actually swan is not the only migrant birds that stop over here. Actually, we also have other kinds of birds and ducks or the other animals from the family of Anatides stop over here. And also in our record, actually, we also find the oriental cranes, and that's our national top-level protected birds.
其实南京应该是天鹅的
And we're also seeing the egrets also stop over here. So actually we have seen the growing categories of the migrant birds coming here to stop over for wintering. It's not their final destination, but they stop here for around 1 month. Still, right now we have seen the increasing number of tourists, so we have the rules and regulations to protect the wild animals and also protect our people. So we have a group of people actually doing this kind of job. And we also have a group of volunteers, say NGOs, also help us to do the patrol work. People from the surrounding villages. So basically their job is to educate the people living in the nearby villages and also the tourists, and also help to keep the tourists in a well-managed orders. So they did a lot of work. So we talk about the NGOs. We talk about the Luoshan village, basically their villagers, and also the government officials actually all work together to protect our swans. So that is also another very important reason you can see these growing large number of swans would like to come here to stop over, because we have seen the awareness of protecting swans actually are increasing, and also the local villagers are actually very professional right now in how to protect swans.
首先我们的网友的第一个问题说好羡慕他们的脖子，是的。然后还有一个网友他提出一个问题，他怎么在陆地也是可以倒立的？
So this large number of swans actually is right now stop over here for 1 month.
这个我们也是从来没有见过，因为我们见到的都是在湖中游弋，它夜间有时休息的话呢，实际上也很少倒立。
So we have never seen that the swans actually put that upside down, but we didn't know that they can do that on land. So we know that why they do that upside down, because they're looking for food for the aquatic plants. But we haven't yet seen that swans doing that upside down on land.
对对对，他们都是平时在成双成对的游弋，有的时候他们就是相当于就是一个平时的。
So we talk about, you look at swans, actually you always can see they actually in the move in pairs. We talk about this is the most loyal birds, so you always can find that the always in an even numbers.
天鹅它珍贵就在于它产蛋也是一窝只产一枚蛋，所以呢每年它只产一个。
它产蛋的话是在西伯利亚还是在南方？
在西伯利亚，它的繁殖地。
So for the laying rate for swans, just 1 per time. So we'll talk about actually the breeding time and places still summertime in the northern part, so Siberia. So which means every year for the pair, they only can lay 1 egg. So that is also the reason that this really low laying rate also makes swans in these very small numbers. So they're also very precious.
主要的说呢，就是应该说啊，这是一个野生鸟类的一个共性吧，应该说是，就是非常的敏感，非常的容易受到这个刺激。
So we talk about the common habit among all the wild animals is number one, they're very sensitive. Any noise. We talk about even the sound made by the drones actually cause a big impact to the habitat of swans. So this is basically a threat to their living environment. So this actually brings additional sensitivity to them. So they think if the place not safe anymore, then the swan will give up the Shijiu Lake and then find another suitable habitat places for stopover. So that is why we talk about NGOs.
保护一个如果有真有受伤的天鹅的话呢，它就是保护现场，然后通知我们这些就是野生动物保护部门。
And we see if we have swans either injured and how we can do to help them. So we also have a group of people actually doing that. So the NGOs or the villagers actually help us to find this kind of situation, and they will contact us. We have a specific group basically to help to transfer the hurt or injured swan to the veterinarian.
那我想再问我们的窦站长一个问题哈，您在这个过程当中每天接触石臼湖，每天接触。
So the people actually working in this area all trained. So actually they with enough knowledge and the know-how to help the injured swans, at least to help them to the bandage the bleeding and transfer the swans to the hospitals. So actually for us, for people working in these areas, we always feel that very satisfied every year, especially for the winter time when we see these large group of swans coming here for stopover. So that's a big reward to our work.
那么今天呢，我们就给窦站长一个机会哈，您面对着我们的网友来做一下呼吁吧。
好，各位央视新闻网的网友啊，我在这里也热情的欢迎大家在冬季前来那个丽水。
So to all the viewers of CGTN New Media, welcome, and I invite all of you to the Lishui, the Shijiu Lake, and here is actually a home to 7,000 to 8,000 swans for wintering, for stopover, and it is a very beautiful scene, beautiful places, and also can enjoy these lovely creatures in the charming lake. And also you can witness a big improvement in this ecological environment. And also please behave yourself while watching swans. Keep the whole environment quiet and also make this as a true swan lake.
你好，刚才看您在忙哈，窦站长已经给我们介绍了好多关于天鹅的东西了啊。对。您觉得在石臼湖什么时候是最美的？
如果是从我的角度来说，我觉得石臼湖的话，
The lady from the tourist bureau of Jiangsu Province.
都是特别美。
那你
比如说你春天有。
So we talk about the Shijiu Lake actually enjoys different beauties in different time period, in different seasons.
天空非常通透。 看着这个石臼湖的湖面波光粼粼，应该是心情相当不错。
We talk about the Shijiu Lake actually as the mirror of the sky, so you can imagine how beautiful the scene is, the place is, and also for the photographers, this your must-go place.
傍晚，石臼湖的傍晚的晚霞特别的美， 我们待会儿如果再过2个小时的话，那这个地方的这个。
And actually, 2 hours later is the sunset time, and the sunset cloud. We talk about the evening glow. Plus swans. Actually, that will be the really heartbreaking time, and also the scene here.
我们还想知道哈，如果来了丽水，来石臼湖看完天鹅之后，你附近还有什么地方一起给我们推荐一下？
到石臼湖来，肯定是要看这个。
So we talk about this place is very famous for watching swans. So Shijiu Lake, of course,
那么除了这个的话呢
is a must.
可以去因为石臼湖它是一个是一个古石臼湖，它是分化的，有很多年历史。那么它这个沿湖的村庄呢，也有很历史悠久的这个分布了，有好多个这个非常古老的村庄，就包括我们前面的那个洛山村，它就有400多年的这个历史。
So we talk about the Shijiu Lake. Actually, is also known as the North Lake. It's divided from the ancient Danyang Lake, and actually the surrounding villages also enjoyed 1,000 years of history. So the Luoshan village. With a very famous a landmark, that's the Luoshan totem, which is a big dragon. So that's also the national intangible cultural heritage. So I also invite our tourists to pay a visit to that big dragon. So Shijiu Lake actually with its vast places. And it's also not really that far compared to the sea. So I believe this is a really good place for our viewers, for our tourists, to have a really quick break place. So if would like to spend for the weekend, this is your best choice. So once again, to our viewers of CGTN New Media, we all welcome you to the Lishui, and also this is the Shijiu Lake. So for the people from Lishui, welcome you to enjoy a beautiful scene here, watching swans, and also to enjoy that the whole villages with a very long history.
来邂逅我们有爱心的天鹅爸爸，一起来感受独特的丽水山水魅力。
So we talk about every year from the autumn, tens of thousands of swans come to winter at the Shijiu Lake in Nanjing's Lishui district. So this is a very charming lake with a lovely creatures. That also does for today's live stream.